Chapter 117. The Whirlwind and the Crucible. Suru attacked the green crystal giant with his red robot, charging forward with a deafening hydraulic roar that echoed across the ruined arena of peace. The massive machine moved with surprising speed, its remaining fist raised for a devastating, earth-shattering blow. But the crystal giant was fast. With a chilling, fluid grace, the behemoth evaded the attack entirely, stepping aside as the red mech's fist cleaved empty air. Pivoting seamlessly, the Titan swung a massive, crystalline fist straight toward the red cockpit. Suru reacted on pure instinct, pulling his control levers back, forced the robot to block the punch. The collision was catastrophic. When the giant's fist slammed into the red robot's defending arm, a massive shockwave ripped through the environment. The devastated Air Kingdom territory shook violently from the block, cracks splintering across the shattered stone foundations. The green giant began to relentlessly push Suru backward, its overwhelming weight forcing the red mech's thrusters to spark and dig deep trenches into the dirt. Inside the vibrating cockpit, Suru's teeth rattled as he strained against the controls. "Damn it!" he snarled. He slammed his hand down onto a console button. With a sharp hiss of pneumatic pressure, hidden panels slid open, revealing weapon ports across the red robot's defending arm. The heavy firepower rapidly began to fire on the green giant at point-blank range, a relentless barrage of explosive rounds detonating directly against the creature's chest. Thick, black smoke erupted from the impacts, completely swallowing the green giant in a dense cloud of ash and fire. High above the battlefield, Ishori floated lazily in the air, levimented and entirely detached from the chaos below. He watched the exchange with crossed arms. He yawned deeply, tapping his foot against nothingness. "Ah, man, it is boring," Ishori muttered, his voice dripping with pure exhaustion. Down below, the smoke slowly cleared, drifting away on the wind. The green giant stood exactly where it had been, the dust settling off its gleaming torso. It had no injuries. The thick iron armor and pulsing green crystals hadn't even been scratched by the heavy artillery. Sweat dripped down Suru's face, stinging his eyes as he stared at the undamaged monster. He wiped his brow with the back of his pilot glove, his breath ragged. "Okay then, try something else," Suru gritted out. He smashed another button on his console. Instantly, the red robot's lower thrusters ignited at maximum capacity. The mech began to spin, rotating on its axis faster and faster, until its form blurred into a screeching vortex of crimson alloy. With a sudden burst of speed, it completely disappeared from sight. The robot was nowhere to be found, leaving only a howling slipstream behind. The green giant paused, its massive head turning slowly as it looked around the empty arena, searching for its target. Boom! Suddenly, the giant took a brutal, unseen hit straight to the chest. The sheer kinetic force bucked its massive frame, causing the iron beast to stumble and crash heavily onto the floor. But Fortress was resilient. Snapping its jaw, the giant pushed itself back up, standing tall as it tried to predict the next trajectory. Crash. It took another crushing hit from completely out of nowhere. This time, the momentum was completely unstoppable. The 20-meter Titan was sent flying backward across the horizon, smashing violently into a distant mountain. The impact ruptured the valley, and a torrent of molten lava exploded from the earth into the dark sky, casting a hellish orange glow over the dock battlefield. Meanwhile, taking advantage of the distraction, the frantic crowd was successfully being evacuated from the outer edges of the city, flooding toward the last remaining transport ships. From his vantage point in the sky, Ishori noticed the escaping citizens. His eyes narrowed slightly. I can't let you do that," he murmured coldly. He raised his hand, pointing a single, lazy index finger toward one of the main evacuation airships. Unstable golden energy began to crackle at his fingertip. Techie. Laser. Before the words could leave his mouth, a lightning-fast figure blurred through the sky, closing the distance in a fraction of a second. Ishori's eyes shifted, and with a casual tilt of his head, he avoided the incoming attack easily. The figure skidded across the air, recovering his balance. It was Fuma. He had finally come conscious after taking that brutal, initial hit from Ishori. Fuma spat a mouthful of blood, his empty hands twitching as he looked down at the battlefield. "Darn it," he muttered silently under his breath. "Where is my sword?" Ishori looked at Fuma, his expression deadpan and entirely unimpressed. "Again? You?" he asked, turning his back on the warrior. He began to float away, moving with slow indifference, as if he couldn't even be bothered to waste the energy fighting him. Seeing the disrespect, Fuma's blood boiled. He lunged forward through the air, screaming, "I am your enemy, you coward!" Fuma flew straight toward him, throwing a ferocious, high-velocity kick targeted right at Ishori's temple. But Ishori didn't even blink. He simply drifted a fraction of an inch to the side, letting the kick whistle harmlessly past his ear. "You are such boring scum," Ishori said, his voice laced with growing irritation. Fuma's eyes widened in sheer disbelief. Up close, he couldn't believe the terrifying, effortless speed Ishori possessed. It felt like trying to hit a ghost. Ishori stopped moving, turning his cold gaze back onto the warrior. "Fine, show me what you got." With a defiant roar that echoed across the burning valley, Fuma threw himself back into the fray, launching into a relentless, desperate assault against the vanguard. Meanwhile, down in the ruins of the arena, the dust began to settle over the rubble. One by one, multiple figures began to emerge from the wreckage. Standing tall amidst the falling ash, Vlad stepped into the light, rolling his shoulders as his crimson aura began to flicker back to life. Beside him, Jiro cracked his neck, his gaze fixed firmly on the sky. Kiko stood between them, her jaw set, her signature high ponytail swaying in the wind as she braced herself for what was coming. And finally, Veritros, standing up fully after surviving the devastating blast he had taken from Ishori. Jiro reached into his coat, pulled out a cigar, and struck a match. He shielded the flame from the playman. Heavy wind lit it and took a long, slow drag. Exhaling a thick cloud of gray smoke, a sharp, dangerous smile spread across his face. "We can't let the boy take all the fun, can we?" Jiro said, his eyes glinting in the dark.